building. Warriors and Clippers in the first ever regular season game at the new Chase Center for the Warriors in San Francisco. And, of course, a marquee matchup with two superstars, Steph on one side, Kawhi on the other. And early on, I mean, let's talk about the Clippers getting off to a very fast start last night. Leonard is dishing, and then Leonard is knocking shots down. And Richard Jefferson, 14-0 Clippers.
And it was actually worse than it looked. It's actually worse than it looked.
Well, it's going to look bad here, too.
Yeah.
That's D'Angelo Russell getting swatted earlier. Draymond Green getting banged up on the play. He'd come back and be okay. Russell would wind up scoring 20 on the night. But the Clippers would just completely take over. And what we're going to see here, again, Green would go off, but he would come back and would generally be okay. Kawhi Leonard would take this game over in the third, and you're going to find him finding teammates. Landry Shamet here.
And look, he had a career-high 9 assists last night, and that was the one thing. If I had to give a critique to Kawhi, he was just a traditional two-guard. He didn't necessarily make players better. But if he starts dishing out 5, 6, 7 assists a night, a la LeBron James, that, to me, will make him the best player in the NBA.
And knocking tough shots down there like that one as well. In all, the Clippers would score 141 points, most ever allowed by a Steve Kerr Warriors team. That one's practically unfair. Kawhi, 21 points, 9 assists in just 21 minutes on the floor. Load management taking care of itself. And the Clippers hand the Warriors a wall-to-wall, buzzer-to-buzzer blowout in the first game in their new building.
And this is not, not a one-off. This is the reality. There's going to be nights like this year, so you got to play through it, and you got to keep fighting and keep getting better. Losing stinks. It's no fun, but the last 5 years we've been living in a world that isn't supposed to exist.
I'm not a moral victory type of guy. I'm not leaving this game looking for something to build off on. We sucked, and we got to get better. I'm not a coach, so I'm not about to go watch a film and say, oh, well, we can build on this. I really don't give a damn about what we can build on. We sucked tonight, and we got to get better overall.
All right, so that's pretty blunt and fairly accurate assessment of what we saw last night. From the Clippers side, look, they're just flat out good, and they're playing without Paul George. So, candidly, they're flat out great. What are the Warriors flat out?
In trouble, right? And people have been saying this, and you always say this, you don't want to disrespect the 5-time conference champions, the 3-time champions. You do not want to disrespect them, but this is not a very good team. They're going to struggle offensively. Steph Curry he's going to get his. I think D'Angelo Russell is going to help. But then after that, you're really lacking in other people, other playmakers. And so I just really don't see how the Golden State Warriors are going to be able to withstand a better conference than last year.
Listen, this game was played late last night, so I'm assuming a lot of people who were up early with us this morning did not see it last night. But you read coming into this about how young the Warriors are. They have all these guys 23 and under. But till you actually see them on the floor, you realize, who are these guys? We've been watching the Warriors play a long time. You don't recognize half the people they have on their team.
No, and if you look at them over the course of this stretch they've been successful, they've had notable names, even guys coming off the bench like Andre Iguodala, Livingston. They've had Barbosa. They had so many guys that were able to contribute to this team. But these young guys, I believe, will get better over the course of the season. But getting better over the course of the season as a 22-year-old player, 23-year-old player, that's not going to be good enough to get you into the postseason. So I'm not going to count them out yet, but Steve Kerr is lowering expectations for a reason. This is a man that was with Popovich and was with Phil Jackson. He's seen great teams. He's been a part of great teams. He knows this is not a very good team.
Yeah, correct. They're about as far away from great as you can possibly be. And all the things we were worried could be wrong with them were on display last night. Namely, they can't play defense, and they don't really have places to go for big buckets. Steph Curry is not the kind of guy who's going to find a way to get one by himself. It needs to be within the flow of an offense that they don't have. So storyline coming out of that game. Clippers, great. Warriors, going to be a long year. Next game, because this one is good, we got the last 3 MVPs on the floor together as Milwaukee took on Houston last night. Harden, Westbrook, and Giannis all in the game. First quarter, Harden showing it off early. The first bucket of the game is a Harden assist.
Well, look, and the way, that's what they need to do. They need to create more for other guys. And I think they're going to create for each other. I think they're going to win a lot of games, but I just don't know And we see it right here. This is these moments. And I think these guys are brothers, and I think they'll figure it out. But there's going to be a lot more of those conversations.
Yes, we'll make a big deal of that conversation because we make a big deal of everything. Westbrook now pushing the pace. You saw his first bucket. Now here comes another dish. Here, that's Eric Gordon. Westbrook had 16 rebounds because he always does. And then James Harden slowing the action down because he always does and finds a way to knock down. That's a tough step back three. Harden had 15 points and 8 assists in the first half. Westbrook pushing it again. Rockets would jump out to a 16-point lead.
And they're going to have these bursts. They have two of the most dynamic players, maybe of all time. So they're going to have these bursts. It's a matter if they can sustain it on the defensive end.
And they couldn't in the second half. They had 55 scored or assists on 55 of the 66 first half points. But in the second half, here comes Giannis.
And look, this is what an MVP does. He just doesn't give up on the play. He tracks them down. And this is why the Milwaukee Bucks, I think, will be one of 2 60-win teams this year because of the defense they play.
Well, they were down 16, but now Giannis hits a 3, and now it's 13, and he's working his way back. Giannis had 12 points in the third quarter to bring it back in it. Well, he's tough to stop. They trail by 9 going into the fourth. Bucks pushing their way back into the game. Watch this move by Giannis.
Look, this guy. I'm glad I'm retired. I'm glad I'm retired.
It defies description. The Bucks cut it to 7 with the Rockets lead there. Now the Rockets lead has been cut to 2. It's Westbrook. He's pushing, and he's going to find it. Oh, look at this. Westbrook throws it down. Rockets a 4-point lead. Good game. Back and forth we go. A minute later, Bucks trailing by 2. Chris Middleton. No, first we'll see it again. Why not?
Oh, why not? Let's just see Brody get up one more time.
Now we get to the Bucks trailing by 2. Chris Middleton. They haven't led the entire night, but that's a tough shot. And all of a sudden, Milwaukee's back in front.
Milwaukee is not going to stop playing. Like Budenholzer is going to have these guys just locked in on the defensive end. And look, I think, to me, that they will be the team that comes out of the East this year.
You saw Harden there. He wanted the shot. He wanted the foul. He didn't get either. Now he throws it up. They can't find a way to get a bucket. Harden really struggling in the second half, but on that play, Giannis would foul out of the game with 30 points, 13 boards, and 11 assists. Rockets not going away. Westbrook knocks one down. He would score 24. Under 2 minutes to go. Bucks, where are they going to get a bucket without Giannis? Wesley Matthews puts them up by 6. And then it's Harden. Well, I tell you what a terrible second half. He would finish 2 of 13, 19 points, 7 boards, 14 assists. Bucks hold on without Giannis. They beat the Rockets by 6.
It feels amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Being down 17 and able to come back at no moment of the game we felt like we gave up. Like this can only make it better.
I didn't play well offensively the entire night. Give them credit, they came back and played well that second half. But this one is on me. I wasn't as aggressive enough, and that's what it was.
I mean, it's all of us. I got to do a better job of helping him out, especially when teams are playing, guarding him like that. That's why I'm here to be able to create for him, so he doesn't have to create and do everything like he's accustomed to.
All right, so the big question coming into this game was the duo here. How would it work? Well, when they were both on the floor, it was a positive number, as you see. You take just Harden on the floor, it drops. You have just Westbrook on the floor, it drops even farther. So we talked yesterday, RJ, you have concerns about this duo. I don't want to overreact to just one game.
Yeah.
But again, as we said about the Warriors, most of the things that we anticipate were on display last night.
Yeah, and look, I like the Rockets team. I think this is going to be a team that can battle, that they're going to win a lot of games. I don't think they're going to be a bad team. But when we're going to start putting them in a conversation of elite, and we're going to talk about, look at Milwaukee. They were down 16 on the road again, and Giannis fouled out with 5 minutes to go. And again, this is one game, and both teams will be better. James Harden is not going to have a lot of second halves like that. But I just can't put them in an elite team category yet. They still have to prove it. I think Milwaukee is going to be an elite team. I think the Clippers are going to be an elite team. And I think those are the teams that they're going to be chasing. So I think they're going to be fine, but they just won't. They're not a championship contender.
See, there's two separate things. I agree with you on that because the Rockets, James Harden is remarkably good all the time. He's going to score no matter what the circumstances are, so he'll be fine. Westbrook plays every game like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So I agree with you. Over the course of a long NBA season, they'll win a lot of games. But they don't look to me as currently constituted like a team that is going to be.
And I think they are going to try and just outplay each team in the sense that they're just going to try to outscore. They're going to run. They're going to go up and down. But you have to play high-level defense to be a high-level team. And I don't think that this team is built for that.
Well, I mean, James Harden isn't known for playing high-level defense. And there's just been a lot of moving around. Look, I don't blame them for doing what they did. When they sort of They had run that previous incarnation of the Rockets as far as it was going to go. You have an opportunity to make a huge splashy move, get Russell Westbrook, you do it.
Yes.
But we all look at this duo and say, are they really perfectly suited, as much as I know they love each other, to play together?
I'm not necessarily worried about the chemistry issues. I think both players have these like big personalities that will at some point in time clash. But I am more worried about when you have two of the top 10 players in the NBA and no one is considering you guys a finalist for your conference, that lets you know how they are viewed and what people expect from them this season.
Listen, I mean, if there's one thing we can say after what is it now, 3 days of the West is as loaded as we thought it was going to be, right? You look around, even the teams that we're not talking about very much look awfully good, awfully early. We have a lot more basketball to get to. We'll keep RJ busy all morning long. But back to the NFL we go on this Football Friday.